It's time to take a spin with Headline Roulette. These are the most compelling, random, interesting, and questionable headlines you may have missed. Today's headline dealer is Libby Emmons. Are you ready?
Christian, thanks.
Thank you. Let's roll. Headline number one. Elizabeth Warren confirms Zohran Mamdani's message is, quote, the Democratic message. What's your reaction to that, Libby?
Yeah, so Elizabeth Warren has officially endorsed Zohran Mamdani, the socialist mayoral candidate for New York, and she has been campaigning with him, and she has confirmed that his message of socialism, city-run grocery stores, transgender surgeries for everyone in the country on the dime of the New York taxpayers, and all kinds of other things, free buses, rent freezes, that this is the message of the Democratic Party. What's interesting here is that a lot of her colleagues have not endorsed Mamdani. Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Cory Booker, they've all shied away because there is certainly a concern that if the Democratic Party goes too far left, and I think socialism qualifies as too far left, then they will lose the rest of the party and they will not be able to gain a foothold for either the 2026 midterms or the 2028 presidential election.
Yeah, I noticed Bill Maher the other night. He said he called Mamdani's message, quote, straight up communism. So is Bill Maher becoming more moderate, or is the left becoming more radical?
I think the left is becoming more radical, and I think that's something that we've seen over the years with over the past few years with a lot of people leaving the Democratic Party. They used to be liberals, and now they're just like, this has gone too far. This is total madness. I can't be part of this. And I think that's what's going on with Bill Maher. He's sort of a common sense guy, and a lot of this stuff just defies logic and reason.
All right, let's move on to headline number two. Jim Acosta interviews made-up AI avatar of Parkland victim Joaquin Oliver. So what do we think of this, Libby?
Yeah, so this Joaquin Oliver AI is something that his parents have been sharing for the past few years, I believe, and I think that it's just really sad. You know, I can understand parents having an intense amount of grief if their child is killed, and especially in such a horrific way. But to continue peddling his ghost, to put up messages of gun control or any other kind of messages that may or may not have been his political belief. He was just a teenager when he was killed, I think is really particularly gruesome. And I think Acosta is pretty gruesome for engaging with it.
I'm sorry, we have to see a part of this. Do we have a clip of this interview?
Joaquin, I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence.
Great question. I believe in a mix of stronger gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea, Joaquin.
Yeah, I think if the Democrat media complex have so alienated themselves from the human race itself, that they've had to resort to cyber ventriloquism. I think maybe now's the time to ask themselves, maybe they've lost literal touch with reality.
Yeah, I think that's great. And cyber ventriloquism, I think, is a phrase that we should all use for this kind of thing in the future.
All right, well, let's get to the final headline. Headline number three. NASA head Sean Duffy makes plans for moon-based nuclear energy source. Quote, it's about winning the second space race. What do you think, Libby?
Yeah, so Duffy, who's the interim head of NASA right now, he has proposed that we have a nuclear reactor on the moon, and they're actually putting plans together to do this and to get this underway so that there's an energy generation on the moon. This would support any moon colonists who are out there, and it could probably also support any kind of space infrastructure that the United States might have. And he said that one of the concerns is that China or Russia would get there first and then cordon off parts of the moon so that the United States can't use it for, creating nuclear reactors on the moon. There's also a plan to get rid of the International Space Station and replace that Elon Musk's SpaceX already has, I think, $843 million contract to create something that helps deorbit the current space station. And I appreciate the commitment to space exploration. I think human beings are a race of explorers. And we are at our best when we are going out there, discovering new things and tackling new ground. So I have a lot of respect and appreciation for that. And it's also, it's a way that we can continue our dreams beyond the earth. We don't just have to look around and say, this is bad and this isn't doing great and we could do better over here. We can say, but there are stars and we can go explore among those stars. We can be part of something bigger.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really fully embrace this resurgence of that spirit of the early 60s and exploration and all that. I know that we'll be racing China on this, but I do hope that the moon doesn't get a nuclear reactor before California can get a functioning power grid.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us, Libby.
Thanks so much, Christian. I appreciate it.
Remember to download the OAN Live app on your TV and your favorite streaming devices. You can also catch any Fine Point episodes you may have missed right there in the app with our video on demand feature. Spread the word. Good night, Godspeed. Until next time.